Alrighty, welcome back fellas. Today I want to go ahead and focus on the SAIYAN Day celebration. Obviously the next big celebration in Dokkan is going to be happening in about a week or so from now on March 18th, so we can all look forward to that. But right now I want to go ahead and try to predict what we can see from the celebration itself when it comes to the new major release character. Now right now we have no teasers, no information to go off of, so we're all operating pretty much blind in this sort of respect. So it's going to be a fun time, but we're going to go ahead and try to figure this out. Hopefully you guys will enjoy the video. If you do, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 1K subs. So, support the channel, subscribe to the channel, comment down below your thoughts. Let me know, what do you want to see for the SAIYAN Day character, who it is, what kind of gimmicks you want to see with the character. Let me know what your feelings are in the comments down below. Let's go ahead and get started. So, first of all, let me just establish what we know about SAIYAN Day. So obviously, SAIYAN Day, March 18th, basically for those who don't know why that's the case, basically March 18th, 318, that in Japanese translates to Saiyan. It's kind of like a little neat Easter egg, if you will. So because of that, that's why it is SAIYAN Day. That's why we have the celebration there. And basically with it, we get a Saiyan character for the premier Dokkan Fest release character, right? So that's something worth noting, which means because it's a Saiyan, we're not going to be getting a Frieza or a Piccolo or like a Beerus right down here. We're not going to be getting any of that. Also, because it is a SAIYAN Day celebration, we're not going to be getting a hybrid Saiyan. We're going to be getting a pure Saiyan. So characters like Gohan, Trunks, Goten, Pan, they're out of the picture. So anyone who's hoping for a new Gohan, I'm sorry, that's not going to be happening just quite yet. Maybe that'll be happening in Golden Week or something, who knows. But for right now, focusing on the Golden Week, or focusing on the SAIYAN Day celebration, that is only going to be focusing on a pure-blooded Saiyan. So, with that in mind, there are a few Saiyans that we can focus on. Obviously, two right here, Goku and Vegeta. They're like the most obvious examples of pure-blooded Saiyans, but we have some other characters as well. Like, for example, we have our Brolys, we have our Bardoks, we have our King Vegetas for all the fans out there. We have our Universe 6 Saiyans, of course, like Kale Caulifla and, Kaba. And also, we have some other characters like that. So, I want to go ahead and talk about the various kind of Saiyans that we could see and just kind of talk about the practicality of them being a choice, and also, like, what sort of idea they should go to if they're going to pick some of these characters. So let's just go ahead and get into this. The one that I will say is probably the least likely to happen for me in terms of like the ideas that come to mind is probably going to be Tarble. Now, this is one of those ones that is so out of left field. So if you guys are like, what the hell are you talking about? Bear with me. But, when I was thinking about pure Saiyans, I was like, you know what? We got a Vegeta, we got a Goku with the 10th anniversary and everything. What are we going to get? And then I started to remember, Vegeta has a brother named Tarble, and we don't get much Tarble content, right? Like, this is the only Tarble we have who's a UR, and realistically, there has never been a premier Tarble release. Now, there's a first time for everything. It might be kind of funny if we get a Dokkan Fest Tarble before we get an LR Kid Buu, but Tarble is a pure Saiyan, so technically speaking, he does qualify to be a SAIYAN Day character. However, when we talk about the practicality of a character, let's be honest, Tarble is not that hype. Shout out to all the Tarble fans, however many there are, but let's be honest, we all know, even the Tarble fans know, Tarble is not the most hype Saiyan. He doesn't have the best moments to pick and choose from as a character, so we can't really do that with him. When we look at those things, Tarble, yes, you could make the case, you could try to push an agenda to say Tarble is worthy of being a SAIYAN Day character, because why not? However, at the same time, he doesn't have any great moments to pick and choose from. He'd basically be a legitimately, full Dokkan original character. Maybe they could pull some things from Dragon Ball Raging Blast too, because there's some cool kind of supers they do with Tarble there, but, it's very limited in terms of what Tarble can do on the screen, so that is going to be an issue right there. Now, there could be some interesting gimmicks, when we talk about SAIYAN Day celebration, now with the 10th anniversary, we have characters who can do reversible exchanges, so if I go ahead and go back into the Dokkan info kind of page right there, with the reversible exchange characters, like, for example, like the 10th anniversary Gogeta right here, that introduces a new tag mechanic, so maybe we could see something like a tag of Vegeta and Tarble or something cool like that. However, again, I just don't think Tarble is going to be the option. I don't think he's going to be the go-to. And actually, I will say, when it comes to tag characters, overall, I prefer that they save the tag concept for big celebrations, but also more specifically celebrations like Worldwide Celebration or maybe like anniversaries. Just keep it more special in that sense. But yeah, in general, I don't think Tarble is going to be that option. Now, going into another kind of character who I think a lot of people think has a good option, but in my opinion doesn't, that's going to be Vegeta. So, when we talk about Vegeta, the interesting thing about Vegeta is that, again, with the 10th anniversary, he has seen a lot of individual love. I mean, we got two 10th anniversary fusions with him as a part of it. We have the Super Saiyan Blue Evolved Vegeta right here. We got the EZAs for the Saiyan Saga Vegeta for the 7th year EZAs right there, of course. So Vegeta has seen a lot of love. However, because of that, Vegeta is, in my opinion, the most hyped character that could be a Saiyan Day character, but at the same time is also the least likely to have it happen for him because, you have all these things going for him. Also, we have to remember, he just recently, like a week or two ago, just got the release of the Daima Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, which everyone thought, once we saw the Daima Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, everyone was convinced that this would be the character for our Saiyan Day this year. Obviously, that's no longer going to be the case, so, with Vegeta here, that makes it less likely. Last year for Saiyan Day in 2024, we had the Cell Saga Vegeta right here for the Big Bang Attack, so, all those things kind of come together and basically just kind of make us all kind of, I feel like, on the same page. The Vegeta, as hype as he is, as many great moments as you could pick and choose from for him, he's probably one of the lesser likely characters to take for the Saiyan Day celebration, despite having so much hype going behind him, because, like, you already got a Saiyan Day character from Vegeta last year, so you don't necessarily want to do back and forth, kind of like, back-to-back Vegetas, right? On top of that, you just put out a Vegeta. Vegeta's been getting a bunch of love. It feels like Vegeta just needs a break to get more hype kind of put in his corner before we can get another Vegeta once again. Maybe in like the Tanabata celebration or like Worldwide celebration or something, but we need to wait on Vegeta. That's basically what I'm trying to say right there. Now, I will say, to play like a devil's advocate to myself, if I want to go ahead and say what Vegeta could do as a character, like, what moment they could pick and choose from, that is where things become interesting, because obviously we just got a Tournament of Power Vegeta, we have the easier for the Saiyan Saga Vegeta, we just got the Saiyan Day Cell Saga Vegeta last year, the Daima Vegeta, so Daima's out of the picture, Saiyan Saga's out of the picture. What could they do? And when I think about it, I think the best approach they could do for a Vegeta is to go ahead and give us a Dragon Ball Super movies Vegeta, but specifically Resurrection of F. Now, obviously, not the favorite movie for a lot of people, but at the same time, it is one of Vegeta's better moments because he transforms to Super Saiyan Blue, obviously shows off that he has the same level as Goku, beats Frieza's butt into, like, the Oblivion. So, I mean, that is one of Vegeta's better moments, I feel like, in terms of the whole Dragon Ball Super, like, anime. Like, I have to think about it, but, like, that's one of his better moments in terms of just whooping ass. But, at the same time, Vegeta obviously didn't get the win, so, it's kind of back and forth on if that should be his moment, because, it's not the most successful kind of output for Vegeta, but at the same time, it is a great Vegeta moment, I feel like, and I think in the grand scheme of things, it is a moment that hasn't been touched on that much recently, so you can go ahead and go into that direction for Vegeta. Obviously, you can look at the manga and be like, hey, manga Vegeta has some options that we could go for, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, but I think until that gets adapted to the anime, I'm not going to go too much into it, but until that gets adapted to the anime, obviously, I think anything that we see from the manga for Vegeta, that's not going to happen anytime soon, so that, I think, is what we can say right there. But yeah, so Vegeta, not on my list in terms of a character I expect to see, but at the same time, if we're going to see a Vegeta, I'm going to say, I hope it is a Resurrection of F, because Cell Saga's done, Majin Buu Saga's done right here with the Tech Vegito, the Dragon Ball Z movies is done with Fusion Reborn, Tournament of Power, the Saiyan Saga, so all those things. I just think, in the grand scheme of things, probably Resurrection of F is the best thing for Vegeta. Now, moving on to another kind of unlikely kind of candidate, right? Broly. So, Broly, obviously, a very great character when it comes to defining a pure Saiyan, right? I feel like when you think of the pure Saiyans in the world, Broly is easily number 3 or number 4 in terms of the ones that come to your mind, right? But, with Broly, the interesting thing is he has so many great, designs and everything, and yet he's kind of tapped out. We've kind of already, taken the hype away from Broly for, a good while. Because when you think about it, in the past, Broly has been successful as the Saiyan Day character, right? He was the Saiyan Day character right here with the Imp Broly back in 2021. So it's happened before. And, last year, last year was the year of Beast Go On and a bunch of other stuff, but also realistically, it was the year of the Broly, because we started 9th anniversary with the Dragon Ball Super Broly, right? Part 1 was Dragon Ball Super Broly, then Worldwide Celebration Campaign, the second biggest celebration of the year, right? That gave us the whole focus on the Dragon Ball Z Broly, right? So Z Broly, you had the first Broly movie, the second Broly movie, and the Prime Battle, free-to-play LR Bio Broly for the third Broly movie. So Broly in pretty much every iteration has been touched upon, focused upon, so realistically, I think Broly's one of those characters where, he would be so cool to see, but we've just gotten too many Brolys, in the past year to warrant getting another one. I feel like if we got another Broly, that kind of just is going to feel a bit deflating in terms of the hype behind it. Now, if we wait a year, maybe 2, then Broly, I think we'll get some more hype, then we can see another Broly return. But until that time, for right now, with all these Brolys that just came out over the past year, I think a new Broly is definitely out of the picture realistically. If we're going to go ahead and choose a Broly, I guess the only real option that we can pick and choose from is going to be Dragon Ball Super Broly. But beyond that, I mean, you know, like Z Broly is there, Super Broly is there, like, there really is not much there. So it is what it is for Broly, but yeah, I just want to mention him because I know some people will be like, hey, what about Broly? Well, there you go. Broly, he's cool, but he's just been used too much recently to warrant, I think, a new Broly being worthwhile as a choice from the development team's perspective, from our perspective, so that's what I'll say right there. Now, moving on to two more exciting options, right? So first of all is Goku. So I will say, Goku is in a similar position to Vegeta, where both of them have gotten a lot of love in the 10th anniversary, right? Goku arguably more so than Vegeta, but, you know, Goku, you got the two 10th anniversary fusions, you have Go Frieza, you have Super Saiyan 4 Goku right here, you have the Easy Ace for Namek Goku and Kaioken Goku right down here, so you have that, you have the 7th year Easy Ace, all sorts of stuff have been going into Goku's favor, which makes sense because Goku is basically like the GOAT when it comes to the whole show and everything, so that's what you kind of expect, right? But, you know, when we look at Goku, the thing is, he's been a Saiyan Day character in the past, right? Like, for example, like, if I can go ahead and find, like, you know, one of his LRs, right? Not his LRs, but his URs right down here somewhere. There you go. So, the God Goku. So, this was the Saiyan Day character for 2023, right? So, like, past the 8th anniversary. So, he's been a Saiyan Day character before, and yet, I will say, you know, similar to Vegeta, because of all the recent love that Goku has gotten, it does feel like Goku probably should not be our Saiyan Day character directly. Now, I will come up with an idea for him in just a moment, just so, like, you know, stay tuned for that in just a sec. But when it comes to Goku as a standalone character, I just don't think that he makes an overall great amount of sense from the standpoint that we are kind of oversaturated with Gokus. So I'd rather keep Goku on the back burner for the time being, just like Vegeta and Broly to that sense, and wait until a later period in time to bring back Goku, to make him, you know, another kind of release as a new character and everything. So that's what I would say right there. Now, to give Goku an option, if we're going to go ahead and give Goku as a Saiyan Day character, which, you know, I'm not against that because I love Goku, but if we're going to go ahead and give Goku an option, I will say right now, like, when we look at what we've been touched upon, right, in terms of Goku characters, we got the Fusion Reborn, we got the Majin Buu Saga, we got GT, we got Tournament of Power, so those things are out of the picture with the 10th anniversary, we got Namek buffs, we got Saiyan Saga buffs, we got, you know, GT again, Dragon Ball Super with the Broly movie. So the one thing, like, that I would say, like, we should get a new Goku for, if we're going to get a Goku for Saiyan Day, give us a Cell Saga Goku. Give us a Cell Saga Goku. I don't know exactly when they would pick and choose from, but for me, I think the one I would probably gravitate towards is an instant transmission Goku, specifically, like, from, like, his battle with Cell, because this is kind of, like, in tandem to, like, the, like, who do I want to say, like, to, like, the Dragon Ball Legends, like, Cell Saga Goku, right? Like, obviously, Dragon Ball Legends just recently put out an instant transmission Goku, so I would say, like, for me with Saiyan Day, I would hope that we get a Goku just like that one, where it's gonna be Cell Saga themed, it's gonna be instant transmission oriented. I think those things would be pretty good. Obviously, it could find a way to merge with the physical Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, so I think there are a lot of opportunities there, but if we're going to get a Goku, it has to be Cell Saga. Otherwise, I'm not going to lie, I don't want to see Goku at this point in time. I'd rather see Goku sometime later in a much more hype and bigger celebration, all things considered. So that's what I'm going to say right there. Now we go into two ideas that I think are very likely to happen, or two characters who are most likely to show up at least. So first of all, I want to talk about Bardock, and the other one is going to be the Universe 6 Saiyans. But let me actually start off with the Universe 6 Saiyans, because I'm going to tell you right now, my money is on Bardock. So that's my kind of guess right there in terms of Bardock. I'll talk about him in just a sec. But with the Universe 6 Saiyans, now there are three options you can pick and choose from. You can go ahead and take Kale, of course, you know, Caulifla. You can go ahead down here and take Kaba. Realistically, you know, like, let's be honest, Kaba, he's there. He's not hype enough as a character. I feel like he hasn't had enough moments to justify him being our Saiyan Day character. Like, Saiyan Day is one of the more hype celebrations throughout the year of Dokkan. And for it to be a Kaba, that is, like, no offense to Kaba fans, Kaba is not going to be in the realm of hype in the grand scheme of things. Now, Kale and Caulifla, they could have a argument for it, but at the same time, like, I think when you look at the two, the only way you can justify this is to make them a tag character. Kale swaps into Caulifla, vice versa, and have them fuse into Kefla, because obviously Kefla is, for a lot of people, the best part about this whole dynamic duo, if you will, is their fusion into Kefla. So, you know, there's that. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, they are a perfect duo where they do feel like a character, or like a set of characters who are, like, perfect for a tag mechanic. So, in that respect, I think you have to have both of them side by side. You can't just give us a Kale and not give us a Caulifla at this point in time, in my opinion, for Saiyan Day. And, you know, same vice versa. You can't give us a Caulifla without Kale. So, if we're going to go into Universe 6, we're going to probably get a Kale and Caulifla. Most likely, what I would hope they would do is to give us a tag character. Now, again, I don't want us to see tag characters, but if we're going to get tag character, which I'm not against it, I just feel like they should save it for other more, like, bigger celebrations. But if we're going to get one, Kale and Caulifla together should be one of the options because you get them to fuse into Kefla. Obviously, a very cool fusion, a very cool character kind of sequence and everything. The animation quality can be insane. And honestly, it would be a nice buff for Universe 6, who is a pretty, like, the category is decent, but it's not like over the top pretty good, I would say. So a new Universe 6 character could be a nice thing in order for this category to get like another boost in value. So all things considered, that is my kind of choice for Universe 6 is Kale and Caulifla tag, go into Kefla. That would be like my number 2 choice when it comes to what we should hopefully see and probably see for the same day celebration. Now, the one final kind of character, right? Obviously Bardock. This guy is who I'm putting my money on again in terms of who I want to see for the same day celebration. Now, when I say the reason why, I think it's going to make sense, but when we talk about Bardock is one of the OGs, right? He's one of those dogs, you know, he's one of the real ones. And he's been a same day character in the past. So realistically, he has the pedigree to do it once again, right? He was a same day character back in 2020. So it's been a while since he's been a same day release. He did get an EZA last year with this specific unit, but this EZA was not that great, let's be honest. But still, being a same day character in the past means they've done it before. They can do it again. And when you look at Bardock, you know, like there aren't many Bardocks that have been out in the game in the grand scheme of things, right? Like you have the Tech Bardock, of course, right here. You have the free-to-play AGL Bardock. You know, Tech Bardock came out back in 2022 as a random Dokkan Fest, not a special celebration Dokkan Fest. So, you know, when I look at Bardock, the thing is, like, I personally like Goku more. I like Vegeta more as characters. I think they have better moments to pick and choose from, arguably. But Bardock has some really great moments as well. I mean, when we talk about Z Bardock, right? Dragon Ball Z Bardock, obviously, like his 2 best moments, I guess, are beating the minions versus Dodoria's kind of team, and then him doing the standoff versus Frieza, which is kind of shown right here with the Tech Bardock. So, you know, I think those are the 2 best moments for Tech Bardock, or not Tech Bardock, but for Z Bardock, which is, again, facing off Frieza, eventually getting beat, but still facing Frieza, and then beating Dodoria's minions and losing to Dodoria, but still taking on the headband and everything. So that's Z Bardock. Then you technically have the special, which was kind of done with the same day celebration character like a couple years ago, right? With this Bardock right here, where you go into base form, you know, he's fighting Chilled, goes into Super Saiyan, and, you know, beats Chilled into a pulp. So, you know, you could do something like that. And then I think the other kind of Bardock that a lot of people are looking into maybe as a potential option would be like either one of 2 things. One, which is kind of like on the more unlikely route, is to give us a Dragon Ball Super Bardock, specifically from the manga, because for those who know, with the manga, like one of the recent arcs with the Granola arc, right, you know, Bardock received a lot of love in that arc. He received a lot of glow up, a lot of storytelling, and a lot of background added to his character and to his arcs. So, you know, in that respect, you know, Bardock does have something to go towards and to lean from in terms of, like, the Dragon Ball Super manga. However, again, you know, similar to like Vegeta and Goku, where they have certain things that they have to offer in the manga that we don't know quite yet, you know, I don't think we're going to see a Dragon Ball Super Bardock. Now, what I will say we could see, and this is probably like the one character I do hope we can see, again, like it's like a tag kind of character design, but you know, this is one of those ideas that I think a lot of people are gravitating towards. I hope that we can go ahead and see right here a Goku and Bardock. Now, obviously, this is from Dragon Ball Legends. They have a tag system where Goku and Bardock swap back and forth. If we're going to get a Bardock, which I think is what we should be seeing, because Bardock it's been a while since we've seen a Bardock, so I think he's due. If we're going to see a Bardock, give us a tag version with Goku and Bardock. That was one of the coolest things in my opinion, is the what if stories for Dragon Ball. If you guys remember, you know, Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi tag team or whatever, like Tenkaichi tag team, they had a what if story in that game. It's a very like old game now, so I'm sure a lot of people don't play it, but if you guys remember, let me know if you guys remember in the comments down below. They had a what if where Bardock helped Goku on the Namek saga, and there was like a whole moment between the 2 of them fighting Frieza, and Goku remembers like or recognizes who Bardock is. It was a very special moment. But regardless, you know, I think if we're going to get a Bardock, you know, you can get a Bardock and Goku. That would be pretty hype as a tag character. Obviously, both are pure Saiyans, you know, the bond of father and son and that sort of stuff. So I think it could be a pretty good idea in the grand scheme of things. Now, are they going to do it? Maybe, maybe not, who knows. Realistically, at the end of the day, no matter what, I hope they give us a Bardock. You know, Tarble, I said Tarble could be an option, but realistically he's not hype enough and doesn't have enough good moments. Vegeta, we've seen too many Vegetas and too many Gokus to really say both should be worthy of a Saiyan Day character at this point in time, but we could see a Saiyan Day celebration, so, you know, with those characters, who knows? But I don't think they're going to be the options. You know, Broly, again, too many Brolys. it's got to be either Universe 6 or Bardock. And realistically, if we get Universe 6 with Kale and Caulifla fusing into Kefla, I won't be mad about that. If we get, you know, a Bardock with Goku who go into like the tag and everything, I won't be mad at that either. But I guess now that I know I was saying that I don't want the tags to show up like too often or anything, but I think in talking about this, I think it's kind of clear that tags may show up for the Saiyan Day celebration, because it makes the perfect sense when you think about some of these Saiyan Day characters that we could potentially see who qualify, who meet the requirements, and yet, you know, how they work and everything. I think it just makes the most sense. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on the whole kind of Saiyan Day celebration, what we could potentially see, what I'm predicting we will see, which is a Bardock and Goku. If not a Bardock and Goku, my second pick is going to be a Universe 6 tag team, Kale and Caulifla, who fuse into Kefla, so hopefully we can see one of those two things. But that's going to be where we wrap up the vid. So again, you know, if you guys enjoy the vid, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel again, you know, show your support, comment down below your thoughts, and again, let me know, what do you guys hope to see from the Saiyan Day celebration? What are you thinking we will see from the new character? Who is it going to be and everything? Let me know your feelings in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care, stay blessed, and I will see you all in the next one.